Hello friends, so till now we completed creation of tables. Let's have a look on index and table properties. Before going to the table properties, let's have a look on the index, why we use index, how to create index, how many types of index are there. Let's have a look in the system. So indexes are used to improve the performance of data retrieval and to ensure the existence of unique records. So there are two type of indexes, basically unique and non-unique. And how to identify whether index is unique or not, we can see this practically. So this is a table I am taking it. Last time we created this table pp underscore ampl table. In this table we have created this many fields. Now I am going to create an index. So here you will see the index section. Here if I right click, I will do new index. So you can name it as, there is a name section. So now index, I am going to create the employee ID as an index and I will make it as a unique, so that there will not be any duplicate value in this column. So actually basically index, they improve the performance of data retrieval. This is the employee, and now see, you can see this is the allow duplicate property. I will set it at no. It's by default it's no. If it is not unique, then we can see yes. So this database uses this unique index to ensure that no duplicate key value occurs. And also you can see there is a enable and disable functionality also. So you can enable or disable. When an index is disabled, it's deleted from the database and it's rebuilt if you enable it later. Now I will drag this field employee ID under this index. Okay, in this index we have employee ID index we have created, and we have set the property no to ensure that there will not be any duplicate employee ID in this table. So this way we can create the index. Now there is one property, alternate key. So alternate key, it is just a alternative to referencing the primary key. So if we set this alternative property of index to yes, then we can choose this as a replacement key. So if I select as yes, so in the table properties we will see it later, we can use this as a replacement key also. So with this, by this way we can create the index. Now we will go browse to the properties of tables. We will take this property one by one. So we will start from this label. So this property specifies the label for this particular table. So here this table is about employee. So we will write employee table. Next, this property is title field 1 and title field 2. So these two fields, if we set this two property, this will help us in many ways. Like whatever field we will add here, this will be displayed in the form caption. So whenever now we will design the forms, maybe in the next lesson or after that. So in the forms you will see in the top caption you can see these two fields, so you can identify the key value. So these are very important fields. Also we will design the lookup forms, so this will display all these additional fields in the lookup form. So whatever we will design the lookup, we will see what is the lookup form later, but in the lookup form if we add these two fields in the form, it will be automatically will get added. So here I can add employee ID and I will add name. So I have set these two fields. Also in the field information, the tooltip, so whenever you will browse your tooltip in the forms in the record, all these two fields whatever you mentioned here, this will be displayed. So this is very important property. So now we have very important property, cache lookup. This is very important property. So this we use when we do lookup. So that it determines how to cache the records while doing the lookup operation. So we can see the options available. So we have this entire table, found and empty, found not in TTS. Generally this is pp employee table is a master table, so we will use the entire table. So entire table we use for master table, this hits the performance. And for transaction table we generally use not in TTS, not in TTS. Yeah. So in this the record is locked when read in transaction, which ensures that the record cache is not updated while the transaction is active. So every time it is ensured that data is real time. So this is not in TTS. This we use for transaction tables. Then we have found also. Found is we use for those table where value never get changed, generally for static tables, like we have unit table. So all caching key selects are written from the cache if the record exists there. So if record exists, we will get this cache. So and another is we have found an empty. So this is where we will get even the record not exist there. So this all selects on caching keys are cached. So all the selects will be cached in this, even the data is there or not there, exist or not exist. So for both, so this is the advantage here. Here we can cache the record which are not found in our select query. So these are the options available here. Now for this table we will select entire table. Now next property is cluster index. This property is used only for SQL optimization purpose. So here you will see this by default property is surrogate key. Now next is create rec id index. So when it is yes, and automatically one index will be created on rec id field. So this indicates whether an index on the rec id field is created or not. So if I set is yes, then the rec id will be created as a primary index. So this helps in the SQL optimization. Another is primary index. So this is this specify the primary index. So only, so what, like you created, we have seen the index, how we created the index. So all the indexes which will be having the unique property yes, only then it will be shown here. So if we drop down here, see employee ID, because employee ID is a unique key. If I go in this index employee ID, if I say allow duplicate yes, if I come here, primary index, see, now you will not be able to see that option employee ID. I will again make it as a unique. So only a unique index can be selected. So again I will make this index as unique, allow duplicates no, and this property now I can select employee ID. Now next is table group. This table group, this determine which group the table belongs to. So it depends, defined based on the nature of table. So whether it's transaction table, group table, main table, parameter table. So generally it provides a method for categorizing tables according to the type of data they contain. So we have so many options: parameter, group, main, work header, transaction. So for this is the main. So we can select as main. So we have so many options. So it depends on the nature of the table. So the main option will be given to the table which handles the master table, like item master, vendor master, customer, this is the employee master. So all depends on the nature of table. Parameter property we will assign to the table having the setup nature, which are used for the defining the parameters. So we will define the parameters. This is just for the grouping. Okay, so for the cust parameter, when parameter, all the parameters table will be having this group property as a setup as a parameter. Now visible, this is for the security, yes or no. It's a simple property. If you want it to be visible, set it yes. If no, then set it no. Now another is OCC enabled. So OCC enabled, this specify whether the optimistic currency mode is enabled for a table or not. So you know earlier we were having this pessimistic concurrency control. So the difference between both is that in earlier control, this pessimistic concurrency control, that locks the record as soon as they are fetched from the database for an update. However, in this option OCC, it only locks record from the time when the actual update is performed. So advantage is that records are locked for a shorter length of time, and records remain available for other processes to update if they have been selected for the database but haven't yet been updated. So here data is locked only when the actual update is performed. So this is very important property we have enabled is OCC. Here our records will be locked for a shorter length of time only when actual update is performed. At that time only the data will be locked. This is again for the authorization permission. So we have multiple options. So this property enables us to specify which data access operation must undergo user checking permission. We have create, delete, update, delete, create, update, delete, read. So we have so many options. Yeah, so let's say suppose this authorization set to create and delete on a given table. In this case, create and delete operation would be allowed to execute only if our AOS can confirm that the user has that appropriate permissions. So this we can select it. Right now I will leave it blank. So by default, whenever a new table is created, this property is set to none. Again, this configuration key, so this specify the configuration key for the table. So they allow a system administrator to enable and disable certain parts of application. So if you want some functionality to get visible, enable or not, so we can do with this property. Again, country region codes, this specify the country region codes where the table is applicable or valid. Again, this is the country region context field. This specify the field that will be used to identify the country context. And created by, if you want to enable this created by, so we'll say yes, we want to see who is created that record, created that time. Similarly, we can make it also created transaction ID also, and we can enable this property. With this, system will create automatically one transaction ID. Next property is data sharing type. Again, this was single or duplicate. You can define it. By default, we can put it as none. This developer documents, this describe the purpose of table and explains how it is used. So we can define one level. This durability is whether this table is schema or data. This is now we will be going to use for both schema and data both. Entity relationship type, whether it's an entity or relationship. This is used for this data model notation. So here we can define whether it's an entity or relationship. Now this important property is form ref. So this property specifies the display menu item that is activated when a table is referenced. So this property helps when with the option go to main table. So right now we have not seen form. When we will see the form, and from one form, if you want to go to the base table based form, then we need this property. So for that, the important thing is that we have to create one primary index. So whatever is the primary index of the table, if that is defined in that form, from that form you can directly come to this table form. So this is very important property. So whenever we will use the primary, like we have this employee ID, so if any form, if this employee ID is used, then this form is available as a link in the report or a form where we can do right click or see view detail options in D365. It will be available. So right now we have not created our menu item, so we are leaving it blank. We will see it later on, but this is very important property, and this works based on the primary index. So there should be one primary index. So for that primary index, now this table employee ID, wherever this field will be used, we can use this property form ref. This we will see practically when we will see from the form. We will come, we will browse all these things. We will see once we will come to the form. Now next property is obsolete. So this is used in the upgrade project. So this is just specify if this table is not used in the future, you can tag it as a obsolete, but this is now we are not going to use this. List page reference is another important property. So this is specify a display menu item that it points to a form that can show a list of the records type. So this we will see when we will discuss the display menu item and the list page. And again, this property is modified by. So if you want to see who modified it, what is the date time, modified transaction ID, we can enable it to yes. So now this is about the modified by, modified date time, modified time. Now we have name, already name came as a pp underscore employee table. Operational domain, again this you can specify, not specified. We have this over shared, company, local. Right now we can leave it blank whether it's shared or no. Preview part reference, again this is a part of info part or form part that is used in the enhanced preview. So actually I will give you the brief idea. And info parts are the collection of data fields from a specified query. So this we are going to see later when we will see the forms and menu items and menus. And form part represents a pointer to a form. So both the info part and form part we will use this. See, and this preview part reference, that property will be helpful when we will see that section. And replacement key, I already discussed about the replacement key when we discussed about the index. So a replacement key is nothing, it's a alternate key that the system can display on forms instead of a like meaningless we are using the numeric primary key. So we can have a maximum one replacement key for this. So if for that the requirement is that index replacement key should be enabled for this. So if I see here alternate key, no. So if alternate key is no, we will not be able to use it as a replacement key. If you see here, we will not able to see this. So now if I go in index, if I turn it alternate key as yes, and if I go in this table, where is the replacement key? I go down, scroll down. Now see, we can select EMPL ID. Here employee ID we have already created the primary index. So one more key, replacement key, we can add as a replacement key. Only one we can do it here. So the drop down list contains every index that has its alternate key property set to yes. So this is about EMPL ID as a replacement key. I am removing it because I have already used it as a primary index. Now next is report ref. Same like form ref is a report ref. Here this specify the output menu item. In the form ref that specify the display menu item. Report ref specifies the output menu item. So it is activated when a table is referenced. So directly when you use primary index field on a report, this report is available as a link in the report. So same concept, whatever is the primary key, and if I link, if I put the output menu item here, so whenever I will use that primary index in any report, this report will get linked to that primary index field. So this we will see practically when we will see the report and form section. Both form ref and report ref, these both are very important property. Save data per company. So this indicates whether data for the current company is saved. So if we set this property to no, data is saved without a company identifier. Okay, so right now set yes, because we don't want to share our data, we want per company data. So in every company there will be a data array ID. Now this singular label, this specify the label that is used in the report model or cube. So this is used in the cube that we will see in detail in the advanced level. Storage mode, again this subscribe Excel level, the authorization read. Here you can see the multiple option, update, create only. Again this is the for the authorization level. This is system table no, this we have created. And this table contains, again this specify how this setup and parameter data can be reused from one customer to another. So if not specified, so for most table we do like not specified. Default data means it is customer dependent, like postal code, units and time intervals. So by default it is not specified. In our case also it is not specified. So now next property is table type. This is also a very important property. This specify what is the type of table. So regular means it is a permanent table. So whatever, so this table is our permanent table. So we will specify this as a regular table. Now we have two more options, in memory and tempdb. In last version, in memory, we used to call it as a temporary table. So this is the same in memory concept. So in memory we cannot use this join in our X++ SQL syntax. And this tempdb, here the data table, this temporary table resides in the tempdb database of the SQL server. So here we can apply the joins, any queries what we use in for the db table, we can apply the same thing here in tempdb tables. So this is the difference between in memory and tempdb. In memory is the same concept which we are using in AX 2009. Here is a simple temporary table. So now we will select as a regular table. Now the next property is valid time state field type. So this is also a very important property. So this ensures the date effectivity of the records. So by enabling it, once we set it yes, system will automatically add two fields, valid from and valid to. So if you see right now how many fields we have, 5 fields. So if I set it to yes, now we have two more options. So if I select is on date, now see two fields are added, valid to and valid from. And see the EDT of this field, it's valid to date. So here we can store the date field, valid to, from which date to which date these rows are effective. So this is a date effective. If I select it as date time, I will show you that also. I will first select as none. Now field are removed. I will again say to them again this. See now, see the it is date time now. So how now the date effectivity will be stored on date and time level also. So this is very important properties. So here system will automatically prevents the overlap between the date ranges in these two fields among the rows. So this is very important properties. For now, this is generally used in trade agreement type forms. In this main is not required, so I will make it as none. Now next property is inheritance property, support inheritance. So when I set this property to yes, this will enable us to use the inheritance concept. So right now extend is disabled, so if I set it yes, then extend is enabled. So this both support inheritance property and the extend property, this together control the table inheritance. So a derived table extend is base table. Right now there is no derived table in base table, so I am setting it as no. So these is the just I have given you the basic brief idea of these properties. Later once we will do the forms, classes and many customization, then we will see the practical implication of these properties. So just revise this property and set same properties for other tables also. Now I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.